Hey everybody, welcome back on board. We just got done being spoiled even more with the A Pirates Life showcase video that detailed lots of things that we can expect within the coming update. If you missed it, or you just like listening to my voice, sit back, relax, and let's look at a few of the key points and my thoughts on what's to come. Warning as well, mild spoilers coming up. First of all, we're introduced to the story. Jack has stolen the greatest treasure of all time, a golden key to other lands, and in doing so, it has led him to the Sea of Thieves. Davy Jones has followed Jack and realizes he has no power over this new territory, a land where the pirate's life is much different from the one that he oversees, and that he has no control over the pirate's life and how we can return from the land of the dead to the land of the living. And of course, Davy Jones won't be having any of that. And working alongside us throughout the Tall Tales will be Captain Jack himself. It's even shown too that he will be joining us on our journey throughout the whole entire thing, from helping us with the map to even helping firing cannons. It's great to know that he is going to be following us, but also I'm curious what idle animations he has or even idle dialogue. I'd like to think that the Sea of Thieves devs have been rather smart with a few comments that Jack could probably make during the journey. Silly things like Jack asking you if you've seen his jar of dirt anywhere. What things would you like Captain Jack to do while you're just standing around doing nothing? Let me know in the comment section down below. In this new update, you can expect up to 5 new Tall Tales. We're given a small glimpse here when the lead designer Shelley Preston explains that we'll be given checkpoints throughout the Tall Tales. Captains of the Damned, Dark Brethren and Lords of the Sea. Not sure how much we can read into these quest descriptions, but I imagine the Dark Brethren, he's going to be an interesting chap. The first 2 Tall Tales are explained within the full showcase video, however, I don't want to include that, as I feel that's just beyond spoilering. I'm glad I've kind of forgotten the majority of what was said, as I don't want to talk about a third of the story, so I hope you don't mind if I skip that. However, I will leave the link to the full showcase video in the description if you do fancy being spoiled. With a new update comes new areas, and we'll be introduced to some beautiful new places, such as the supernatural realm of the Sea of the Damned and the Sunken Kingdom. We also have the Tones of the Damned, that is the bridge between both the Sea of the Damned and the Sea of Thieves. It's an instanced area that allows us to move from the main world to wherever we want. Of course within reason, I imagine, although they didn't really elaborate on that too much. We come to learn that Rare have not only focused on making sure that the universe of Pirates of the Caribbean from the movies feels right at home alongside the Sea of Thieves universe, but they've also incorporated the famous Disney Pirates of the Caribbean ride too. Very unexpected, but gives testament to that the team meant business with this update. Not just focusing on elements of the movies, but the fantasy that is captured throughout the ride at Disney. Oh, and if you were curious whether Captain Barbosa was ever going to make an appearance, there he is. Look at him. Dead. Dead as a doornail. Thanks, Rare. Now, I've been on the ride at Disney fairly recently, and I'm really hoping that we get to explore this whole entire area for ourselves, because that's exactly what the ride gives you. It hands you the perfect fantasy world of a pirate's life, but you're stuck on a track inside a boat. So I'm hoping this area alone is a joy to scamper around, as it's certainly something that I have indirectly cried for within Sea of Thieves for a long time. New areas that are populated with NPC characters living their own pirate lives, even if they're dead. So yeah, I can't wait to visit this town and experience the Pirates of the Caribbean ride within Sea of Thieves. Now this was another interesting one, Sailor's Grave. It's a shipwrecked town where the damned wait for the arrival of the ferryman. The bleakness of limbo, I feel, has been captured perfectly in this region. And for an area to be drowned in the dead, it looks like it could have more life than you think. A tavern known as The Last Stand, bustling with patrons, as well as a gambling den. I don't know how elaborate this could be, but gambling feels like the one thing that's been missing from Sea of Thieves all along. So I'm excited to discover this gambling den. Mr. Cheeky Mike Chapman also reveals that if you follow the trail...
There's also a reveal of a very special ship. There's an awesome Easter egg to find. I won't spoil it, but I think it will really delight our players.
Yeah, the Land of the Dead doesn't sound too bad after all. The Sea of the Damned, and I imagine the land of the dead within it, is described as a world that is mainly a limbo constitute of memories of pirates, of structures, of their ships and their adventures, echoes of who and what they used to be. I wonder if you'll get to interact with these spirits and they can tell you their stories of how they ended up in the land of the dead, and maybe even some history that we are yet to hear of the Sea of Thieves. The Sunken Kingdom is my favourite looking place, not for its vibrance and glow alone, but for the array of corals and the Disney-like beauty. However, I was pleasantly surprised to find this clip showing that the Sunken Kingdom does in fact have a dark side. Two sides to the coin, I like it. Moving deeper into the Sunken Kingdom, there are a few shots of the Siren Citadel, and they're breathtaking. Built from coral and the remains of pirate ships that they've dragged to the depths with chains. Feels like a rather accurate setting for sirens. We're also told that there are siren statues that are used like musical instruments, and in doing so can fill a room with water that then allows us to reach areas we couldn't before. Now I really hope that this is an option for players, as to know some rooms have small puzzles inside them that if you decide to take the time away from the main quest to complete them, you could be rewarded quite handsomely, purely out of choice. Now I'd love to see more stuff like that around the world of Sea of Thieves. And of course, with new areas comes new enemies. The Sirens, who are described as being elegant shadows in the dark, have two classes and some unique methods of attack and defense to go along with them. Base Sirens have a close-up scratch attack, as well as being able to shoot an orb at you known as a note of song. Siren leaders, who look a little more menacing, each carry the Trident of Dark Tides. This is a projectile weapon from distance and a melee attack up close. It can also be found and used throughout the world. Sirens also have a gem on the centre of their chest, and with this they're able to create a shield that damages pirates around them and also allows them to heal themselves and any other sirens close by. Ocean crawlers are a new land-based threat, and they can be found within the Tall Tales as well as the Sea of Thieves as a whole. Three completely unique classes such as the Crab Ocean Crawler, a tank enemy with a devastating close-up pummel attack. The electric, get it? These crazies fire electric projectiles at you and dash across to you very quickly. They can also cast an electric shield that electrocutes pirates if they attack, and, to make matters worse, the electricity can jump and chain from pirate to pirate if they're close enough. The Hermit resembles that of a pain in the arse. It walks around spraying poisonous spores from its mouth. It can burrow under the ground, closing that distance you so desperately need, and he can also bloody run and dive at you. It's going to be satisfying killing these things. So satisfying. Siren statues are these colossal structures protruding from the seas as the astral projection of Davy Jones looks over them. This event looks exactly like Flameheart's ghost fleets. They also look to produce a red shield-like bubble around them, which I imagine causes damage if you unfortunately drift too close. The destruction animation does look satisfying, I have to give them that. And last of all, Phantom Pirates. Pirates. And they're dead. That's it. There was, of course, so much more information within the showcase video, but what I showed you today I feel was more toward the less spoilery side, as although there was a lot of information to share, I like to have at least a handful of things to be surprised with, and I hope you do too. And before I say goodbye, absolutely wished I could buy a beer, shake the hands and hug every single one of you that have left me comments with regards to my message at the end of my last video with how everything has been recently. If you're not too sure or haven't heard what the context was, I made a community post earlier today explaining everything as best as I could. But once again, thank you so much for the love and support from all of you. This is why I love the Sea of Thieves community. Every single one of you, it doesn't matter that we're strangers, we all understand that we're in things together. So before I start chattering my face off, thank you. The love has been felt, and I hope you understand how much every single one of your comments means to me. But thank you once again for joining me on board. I hope you're well, I hope you're all safe, and I'll see you again soon.